Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is 3 Buck Theater, and happy Alien Day. Today is 4/26, otherwise known as LV426, and we are just a couple weeks away from Alien Covenant, a movie that I don't know about you, but I am pretty fucking stoked for. And today, 20th Century Fox and Ridley Scott, probably Ridley Scott, they finally decided to do something that was going to help those of us who are fans of the franchise get caught up on what happened between Prometheus and Alien Covenant. Now, a lot of people in 2012 when Prometheus came out were not happy with the movie. They felt that it was a little bit too self-indulgent, a little bit too on the nose with how it treated the engineers like God, and the plot ultimately wasn't as well constructed as humanly possible. I do blame Damon Lindelof quite a bit for that, mostly because it's Damon Lindelof, and screw that guy. So you've got that, but now you've got this movie, and Covenant is going to be the beginning of a new prequel trilogy leading up to Alien. And this little short film, this 2-minute short, showing what happened to Dr. Elizabeth Shaw and David after the events of Prometheus. They don't give us a lot of information, but it does give us a couple tidbits that I do not believe are necessarily going to come to light in terms of being explained in Covenant, but what's going to be coming after Covenant, which is oddly enough a prequel to Covenant and a sequel to Prometheus called Awakening. Now, this particular little short shows us that Elizabeth Shaw escaped the planet with a Prometheus ship, or with an engineer ship, sorry, with David. She restored him, and then they were on their way to the homeworld of the engineers. And while they don't know how long it's going to take for them to get there, David puts Shaw in cryosleep. He then learns the ways of the engineers. Now, if you look at David in terms of his actions in Prometheus, you know that he has a distaste for his creators. He has a distaste for men, essentially. But he does respect Elizabeth Shaw and her ability to survive, which is one of the reasons why he probably has a deep sense of care for her. But what we've learned through other pieces of information leading up to Alien Covenant, we know that something happens to the engineers. And what I think this short film shows us is that David does something to them, right? I think he does. There's a shot in here where he's looking down at them as he's bringing the ship into dock. The bottom of it opens up and it just pans up for a second, and you see what appears to be missiles or some kind of ordnance. And there's a crowd amassed underneath, and it looks like he is looking down at them. There's a low angle shot, and he's looking down kind of like, omnipotently, like he is God. And we know that he wants to play God. We saw this in Prometheus. And this is a spoiler for Covenant, we do know that the engineers are not the creators of the xenomorphs, that it is in fact David that has been trying to work on these experiments, and this is probably something he learned from studying the engineers. He is crafting something, creating something, the perfect world, maybe, we don't know, but maybe a perfectly genetic weapon. We don't know yet what exactly is going on, but what we do know is that David is the progenitor of the xenomorphs, and that is what's going to probably lead into Covenant. Now, Covenant is clearly a first deep space colonization mission. It's, I think, like 52 families on the ship. From different walks of life. You have Damien Bashir and his husband, so there's a gay couple on board. Danny McBride, Catherine Watterson is the lead. So there's different couples that are going to be there, and they're clearly going to be dealing with probably what David did to the engineer planet. I think he's going to drop the bombs, wipe them out, and then settle and colonize that planet while Shaw is asleep. Now we know through onset reporting that something happens to Shaw. So the idea there has been that Shaw is dead, right? But we also have seen in this one that she's in cryosleep. So we don't know necessarily if what we saw or if what the people on set saw at the time was stuff that they were maybe reshooting from like the ending of Prometheus or something, like kind of showing stuff from that. We don't know. I mean, probably not, but something happens to Shaw, but I still think she's alive. I think Shaw is still in cryo sleep. I think Shaw is going to be awoken at the end of the movie, and that Noomi Rapace is going to come back into the series to go forward into the next film, which will be the final prequel film leading into Alien. Because keep in mind, like I said, that he said there's going to be a new trilogy of prequel movies, but Covenant is like the Empire Strikes Back. It's the middle one. It's the Die Hard 2. It's the the Two Towers. It's all those things, right? It's Temple of Doom. It's going to be the second movie in the prequel trilogy, and then we're going to get the prequel to that. So it's very weird in how they plan on telling the story. But I think that this particular little thing, this short film, The Crossing, I think is more of a prelude into what we're going to get from Alien Awakening versus Covenant, to be honest with you. Now, again, speculation, because I just want to speculate here. Speculation for me would be that Awakening actually applies to Shaw's awakening. If that is, in fact, if Shaw dies in this movie, and my speculation on that is wrong, then Awakening would probably adhere to Shaw coming alive or awakening in the next movie, which would then be a prequel. So it's Ridley Scott, I think, has kind of screwed himself here just a wee bit. I think he screwed himself a little bit in terms of how he's telling these stories. It's going to be one where it's like if you're just not sure what to think about it, your best bet might be to just hold off until the film, until all the films come out, right? Until like everything comes out, and then go, okay, now I can watch it and get a story told to me point for point down a linear path, instead of being told, or getting a release schedule. That's how a Tarantino movie plays out, right? It's just, it's bold. It might work. It might not work. I don't know. But either way, Alien Covenant is one I definitely am seeing in IMAX. I cannot wait to go see it. I hope that it's better than Prometheus. Again, Prometheus grew on me through future viewings, but I definitely am excited to see what comes from it. I do want to know your thoughts, though. Do you think any of my speculations are going to be correct? Do you think my head's up my ass here? These are things I want to know. Go ahead and let me know in the comments. My name is, of course, Matt Jarbo. You've been listening to $3 Theater. I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a fantastic day, and peace out.